Hello and welcome to the first episode of The Most on Screen, where we check out movies and series for their most unrealistic, strange, unbelievable, or straight up stupid moments or characters. In this episode, we take a look at the recently published movie Red Notice, an action comedy with The Rock, Ryan Reynolds and Gal Gadot. The movie starts with an introduction of the plot, which is about 3 golden eggs that were gifted to Cleopatra by Mark Antony on their wedding day. Afterwards, we get an explanation about the title Red Notice, which supposedly stands for an arrest warrant by Interpol for the world's most wanted criminals. I looked it up, and it seems this information is not entirely true. A red notice is actually not an arrest warrant. It's just a notice, and Interpol has not the authority to compel the police of different countries to act on them. Each country decides on their own whether to act on this information or not. Fun fact, there are currently approximately 66,370 valid red notices. Okay, so after checking out this information, we take a look at the first thing that was pretty sus in this movie. The role of Interpol, the Interrole? Okay, I let myself out. Anyways, the movie starts with an Interpol agent and The Rock as an FBI agent entering a museum with a bunch of local police in Rome. She and The Rock seem to clearly lead the investigation. Sometime later we are taken to Bali and the same thing happens. Even during the arrest they seem to call the shots. After these two scenes, we are actually treated to many more throughout this entire movie, where the same Interpol agent shows up all around the world to arrest them. Damn, don't they have more than this one agent, or was she the only one willing to chase Deadpool around the globe? Yeah, anyway, so at the end of the movie you can see all 3 of the main protagonists getting the red notice mark. So, wait a minute. So you tell me before that there was no red notice for them, but they were still treated like some kind of terrorist organization. And also, of course, they are put in the same prison cell. Yeah, I doubt it. The next thing about this movie is also a common trope in movies. Characters opposite of each other having a similar problem with their dad or mom, in this case, a huge amount of unresolved daddy issues, leading to both of them becoming who they are now. The first time we hear about this is when Ryan Reynolds' character gets arrested. However, we get plenty of it throughout the movie, with both of them pouring their hearts out after being together in a cell for, I guess, some days. While The Rock is reluctant at first, he finally opens up, making them unofficial BFFs. The next part is what I would basically call science bitch. There were quite a lot of scenes in this movie that were, quite off, that made me go like, okay, maybe, but most likely not. So this just melts. Yeah, I'm not an expert, but I don't think that Coke has such an effect on anything, maybe except for the Mentos? I don't know, but you get my point. As far as I know, a scuffle doesn't have something like a button for self-destruction. Why is there a big ass hole in the outer wall of this maximum security prison? Or this scene with Ryan Reynolds, aka Jenga Master 9000. Seriously? What? Like, what? The Rock is twice the size of this walkway and it must be full of ice and it's windy as hell. Don't try this at home, kids. So in the next scene, our Canadian sniper managed to give this dude a headshot with his poorly formed snowball from quite some distance, all while sprinting for his life, all while these dudes can't seem to hit a big, almost immovable object like The Rock. Man, what does that remind me of? Oh yeah, right. After our stormtroopers manage to fail every shot, they try a bigger caliber in a scene that made me be like, what? How? What? How? In this scene we are at the party of the weapons dealer and Jenga Master 9000 drops the glass with the fingerprints. This breaks in hundreds of pieces, but the one with the fingerprint on it is still 100% intact? Yeah, sure. This would not work. Facial recognition systems, especially high security ones, use 3D to scan a face, else you could just use a picture to get inside. Which would most definitely not make it highly secure. This still works. And this still works. And obviously this still works. Revealing some kind of Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark stash. Also, why are there open boxes with weapons lying around ready for usage? Did someone plan this beforehand, or how did that happen? Yeah, as you can see in the next scenes, maintenance clearly isn't an issue in this movie universe. How is everything still working? Oh look, there are even some more 75-year-old new cars ready to go. I did a quick Google search as I was not sure about the exact time it needs for fuel to go bad. It turns out it's just a few months. If you add some stabilizer, it can go up to maybe a year or a bit more. I guess they must have put in 75 years worth of full stabilizer. Okay, I don't know what was in these boxes, but the explosion was way too big. Okay, so when assets are frozen, they don't disappear. You can just not use them. Okay, I guess we can all agree that The Rock is not a normal person. Most likely some of his superhero energy went from Black Adam movie set to this movie. He seems to be basically invincible. So in the first few scenes he already jumps out of a window and falls onto the next floor on his back. Then he jumps from the ladder and falls on his back again. If we take a look at the average height of a woman in that region, it comes out to around 163 centimeters or 5.4 inches. The height of the next jump in total seems like approximately 4 to 5 times the size of that woman, so between 7 or 8 meters or 23 to 26 feet. From this height, a fall on your back onto concrete could in most cases seriously injure your back and cause damage to your spine, especially regarding you would most likely be injured from before. In the next scene, our guys are carrying a small rock when Ryan Reynolds' character lets go of it. This thing must weigh a ton, and the angle of the stone and the hand placement is way too bad to be able to hold it. Most of its weight would be pulling the rock down. So I'm not a weapon expert, but when they shot the RPG in this scene, it lands shortly behind the rock and explodes. RPG can have a kill zone of quite a few meters in its blast radius, meaning he would be dead. I mean, look at this explosion. But even if he would not die of the direct hit, the blast of the explosion and projectiles flying around would definitely severely injure him. But the rock wouldn't be the rock if he didn't just run it off afterwards. Okay, so I did a small check, and if an average sized bull, which weighs around 770 kilos or 1,700 pounds, would hit you with its average speed of 24 kilometers per hour or 15 miles per hour, it would hit you with a force of around 1700 Newton meter. To put that in perspective, the punches of amateur boxers have a power of 2500 Newton, which leads to amateur boxers having a chance of up to 13% per match to suffer a concussion. And he just runs it off again. The next issue of this movie was the timing. This movie had many moments that were like, wow, how was that timed? People showed up out of nowhere just at perfect timing. In fact, there were so many of these moments that I had to put a counter. They arrive at perfect time, so he's still in the audience when they check the egg. So close. And again. And again. And again. Wow, just in time. I wonder if he was just awkwardly waiting there in the dark. Movie trope number... I don't even know anymore. Whew, that was close. Man, that's some real life fight choreography right there. The timing of this call. And again, so close. Get to the chopper. Why is the plane already waiting? I doubt they had a smartphone to do a short call. Or these two scenes. Man, you almost got them there, buddy. Scene of every spy or theft movie ever. Oh, hello again. Where did she even come from? They used the only entrance. Bro, that's unlucky, but I'm sure it won't happen again, right? Right? Oh, come on. You're better than this, buddy. Oh, look who it is. Again? Where do all these people keep coming from? Lucky, lucky, lucky. The timing in this movie is just insane, man. Let me hear it one last time for Interpol. Oh, I'm not even gonna ask how we got into this boat unseen and completely dry. So this last part is a mix of other aspects that were either stupid or hilarious stupid. Starting right at the beginning. They could clearly see the security door close. Why would they still run against it? He stole the card from a security guard at least a day ago. How did the guard not realize that? Did the guard go on vacation just after the incident? Or he just did not bother? First of all, of course he knows how to easily navigate through it. I guess he has a 30-day test version at home. Secondly, these guys. Come on. Something was clearly off and this guy's like, this is not James Bond. Are you kidding me? The Rock in the Jungle. I think I've seen that one before. Okay, I guess not. Of course, when he's throwing the compass, he's standing exactly on the metal gate, because else they would have never found it and just left. In this shot and some before, you can clearly see how big this whole thing is. How the first box they open happens to be the correct one is beyond me. Yeah, this does not happen. I also wondered how he got this. He didn't know he would get handcuffed. And I doubt he reached his prison wallet like that. The last thing in this movie that was just completely dumb was basically the whole character of Gal Gadot. She always appears out of nowhere, as we saw in this scene before.
Looking for something specific or just browsing?
How did she even get in?
You know, there was an easier way in, but...
There was another entrance. Sure, bro. Why bother with all that security nonsense if there's a second fast entrance? Also, why would an international weapons dealer trust her in any way? This whole partner thing was bullshit. She had so much power even though she was just a thief. And obviously she's one woman show that managed to hack FBI or Interpol and basically has any skill that is necessary in any situation. Whether it is fighting, hacking or acting.
I don't know what happened. We were just having a glass of champagne when all of a sudden he fell.
Well, maybe not acting. What was even that? Anyways, that was it for this movie. It is still kind of fun to watch in my opinion, as long as you don't expect too much. What do you think? One last bonus scene that was actually one of my favorites and probably the most realistic scene. Okay, so that's it with my first episode of The Most on screen. Did I miss anything? What was the scene that made you crack up the most? Is there anything you would like to see next? Comment down below. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like and maybe even subscribe for new content if you did. I highly appreciate it. See you in the next episode, have a great day.